As the day comes to a close, the world outside grows quieter, and the hustle of life begins to fade. The soft glow of a bedside lamp casts a warm, golden light, creating a sanctuary of peace. You settle into your bed, letting the weight of the day melt away with each slow, steady breath. The stillness of the night invites you to pause, to listen, to open your heart to something greater. In this moment, there is no rush, no demand, only the gentle whisper of God's presence. You close your eyes, releasing every worry, and simply rest in the assurance that you are heard. The quiet hum of the night surrounds you, a soothing melody that lulls your mind into stillness. You take a deep breath, inhaling the calm, exhaling the tension that lingers from the day. In this sacred space, you are not alone. God is here, speaking in the language of love and peace. His voice is not loud or forceful, but tender, like a breeze brushing against your soul. You let go of the need to speak, to ask, and instead, you simply listen. There is a sweetness in this silence, a knowing that He is near. The rhythm of your breathing slows, syncing with the quiet pulse of the night. You imagine God sitting beside you, His presence as comforting as a favorite blanket wrapped around your shoulders. His words are not in grand declarations, but in the gentle nudges of your heart, reminders of love, grace, and belonging. You reflect on the day, not with judgment, but with gratitude for the moments both big and small. In this stillness, you realize that listening to God is not about hearing words, but feeling His peace. Your soul settles, wrapped in the warmth of His nearness. Outside, the world sleeps, and the stars twinkle like distant reminders of God's faithfulness. You think of the day's challenges, the joys, the unexpected blessings, and you offer them all up in silent surrender. There is no need for elaborate prayers, just an open heart ready to receive. God's voice comes in the form of quiet assurance, a knowing that everything will be okay. You release the need to control, to understand, and instead you trust. The night holds you gently, a sacred space between today and tomorrow. The sheets are soft beneath you, the pillow cool against your cheek, and you sink deeper into relaxation. You imagine God's voice like a lullaby, soothing your restless thoughts, quieting the noise of the world. He speaks through memories of kindness, through the love of those who care for you, through the beauty of creation. You don't strain to hear Him. You simply let His presence wash over you like a wave of peace. There is no hurry here, no pressure, just you and the divine, meeting in the quiet. Your heart whispers, "I am listening," and in return, you feel His love. The clock ticks softly, a steady reminder that time is not rushing, but resting alongside you. You think of the prayers you've spoken throughout the day, the hopes you've carried, and now you release them into God's hands. His response is not in words, but in a deep, abiding sense of comfort, as if He's saying, "I've got this." You don't need answers tonight. You just need His presence. The weight on your shoulders lightens as you remember that you are not alone. Sleep begins to pull at the edges of your mind, and you surrender to it, knowing God watches over you. The darkness outside is not empty, but full of peace, full of promise, full of God's unseen work. You let your thoughts drift like leaves on a calm stream, carried by the current of His grace. There is no need to force anything tonight. Just being here is enough. God meets you in the ordinary, in the quiet, in the unspoken prayers of your heart. You feel a gentle reassurance, a reminder that tomorrow is a new day, held in His hands. With a final breath, you release everything and drift into sleep, cradled in love. The night air is cool, and the blankets wrap around you like a hug from heaven. You reflect on the small moments of the day, the smile from a stranger, the warmth of the sun, the laughter shared with a friend. These too were God speaking to you, reminding you of His goodness. You don't need a booming voice from the clouds. His love is in the details. As you lie there, you feel a deep gratitude, a contentment that settles your soul. Sleep comes softly, and you welcome it, knowing God is with you even in dreams. The house is silent, the kind of silence that feels holy, like the pause between heartbeats. You imagine God's voice as a gentle stream, flowing steadily, washing away the day's stresses. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. You can simply be. His peace is your blanket, His promises your pillow. You whisper a quiet "thank you" and feel His response in the calm that fills your chest. The night holds you tenderly, and you let go, trusting in His care. The moon casts a silver glow through the window, a quiet reminder of light in the darkness. You think of the times today when you felt God near, perhaps in a moment of clarity, in a sudden sense of peace, in the kindness of another. These were His whispers, His way of saying, "I am here." You don't need to search for Him. He is already close, already speaking. Your breathing slows, your body relaxes, and you sink deeper into rest. The last thought before sleep is a simple one: God is good. The weight of the day lifts like a feather carried away by the wind. You release every concern, every fear, into the hands of the One who holds all things. God's voice is not in the storm, but in the stillness, not in the chaos, but in the calm. You listen with your heart, not your ears, and what you hear is love. The night wraps around you like a promise, and you feel safe, held, cherished. Sleep comes as a gift, and you receive it with gratitude. The pillow cradles your head, and you imagine it as God's hand, supporting you, comforting you. You think of the Bible verses that bring you peace, the hymns that soothe your spirit, and you let them linger in your mind. God speaks through these truths, reminding you that you are never alone. The worries that once felt heavy now feel light, surrendered to His care. You exhale slowly, releasing the last bits of tension. The night is a sanctuary, and you are at rest. The stars outside twinkle like tiny reminders of God's faithfulness, each one a witness to His unchanging love. You don't need to hear an audible voice to know He is near. His presence is in the quiet, in the peace that fills the room. You reflect on the day's blessings, both big and small, and you offer thanks. God's response is a warmth in your heart, a knowing that He is pleased. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you surrender to sleep, held in His embrace. The darkness is not something to fear, but a canvas for God's peace to unfold. You imagine Him sitting beside your bed, watching over you with kindness in His eyes. His words are not complicated but simple, full of love and assurance. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust. The night is a gift, a time to rest, to recharge, to remember you are loved. With a final sigh, you let sleep take you, knowing God is with you. The rhythm of your breathing matches the quiet pulse of the night, a gentle lullaby for your soul. You think of the prayers you've prayed, the hopes you've whispered, and you trust that God is working. His voice is in the peace that settles over you, in the comfort that wraps around your heart. You don't need to strive tonight. You can simply be. The bed feels like a safe harbor, and you are anchored in His love. Sleep comes like a blessing, and you welcome it. The world outside is hushed, as if nature itself is listening for God's voice. You join in the silence, opening your heart to His presence. His words are not loud but soft, like a melody played on strings of grace. You feel His love in the stillness, His assurance in the quiet. There is no need for fear, no need for worry, just rest. You close your eyes, knowing that even in sleep, God is near. As sleep finally claims you, you surrender completely, like a child resting in a parent's arms. God's presence lingers in the room, a quiet guardian of your dreams. You don't need to hear Him to know He is here. His love is the air you breathe. The night is long, but His faithfulness is longer, stretching into the dawn. You drift off, cradled in peace, held in grace. Tomorrow will come, but for now you rest, listening to God in the silence of your soul.